Hey, what's up, guys? It's a Sports Splits here, and we're back with another 2022 NFL record prediction. In this one, we are going to be doing the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, before I get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, guys. I'll be honest, I'm not an Eagles fan, but I am very excited to see how they do this year. I I think they actually, by a long shot, had the best offseason out of any team. They, it was insane. It was an awesome offseason. I'm, I'm very excited to see it. So let's go ahead and dive on into their depth chart. So starting off at quarterback, they've got Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts is actually someone that I, unlike a lot of other people, was actually really high on coming out of the draft a few years ago. In fact, I actually kind of wanted him to fall to my Carolina Panthers that year. Unfortunately, he didn't. He went to the Eagles. I think he's done a pretty dang good job his first 2 years. I think he's done a lot better than people give him credit for, and I think he's just going to keep on improving. And then behind him, I mean, you've still got Gardner Minshew and Carson Strong. I really do believe Carson Strong is going to make the roster, probably over Reed Sinnett. I mean, Gardner Minshew's capable too. So yeah, they have some good depth at the quarterback position. Running back, they've got Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell. I honestly expect by the end of this season, Kenneth Gainwell will be the number one running back for the Eagles. I do believe he'll overtake Miles Sanders. But that said, I think him and Miles Sanders are a good duo, and Boston Scott isn't bad. I think they'll still, give him a decent amount of touches, but I think it's going to end up mostly being Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders. Then receiving wise, they pulled off an awesome trade for AJ Brown. That becomes Hurts' number one weapon, as well as, Devontae Smith is coming into his second year. Quez Watkins, he's not really a guy that is going to get you that 1,000-yard season and, be your number one receiver. But every now and then he'll just make just an absolutely insane play. And having that big playability is awesome for the Eagles. So yeah, they've got some solid receivers now. Dallas Goedert, last year he was a top 10 tight end. This year, I think he's going to be in the top 5 to 7 range, getting better every year. So I'm excited to see how he does. Offensive line, I actually really like the offensive line. Jordan Mailata is a very, very underrated left tackle. And even behind him, they've got Andre Dillard. And I believe Dillard can honestly play left or right tackle. So if Lane Johnson were to go out as well, Andre Dillard, I think, would be a good replacement. But then, I mean, Lane Johnson is also still a very capable tackle. Interior-wise, they've got Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey. I don't know too much about Isaac Swaymalu, I think is how you say it. But really everywhere there except for right guard, I really like. Going to the defense now, this is what I really like here. So, D-line, they've got Brandon Graham. I mean, he still plays at a decent level considering how old he is. I think they're going to really try to... I wouldn't be surprised if this next year they draft an edge to replace him. But I think he's going to be very capable for this year. They've got Fletcher Cox as well, and I love Fletcher Cox. I think he's going to be really good still. I'm going to also add in Javon Hargrave right there. He's very, very underrated as a D tackle. But then even behind them, you've got Jordan Davis, who was just an absolute freak in the combine. I do believe he will be a three-down player in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be only out on the first two downs of a series like he was in college. I think he's going to improve his pass rush and really just become much more of a complete player. So I really like their defensive tackle depth, and really Marlon I've never been able to pronounce his name, okay? But I've seen him play. I think he's a solid number 4 D tackle as well. So I really like their defensive tackles. Their other DN, they've got Derek Barnett and Josh Sweat. I don't think either of them are like insanely good, but I think they're capable players. I think they're both going to be good rotational pieces. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles aren't done and decide to go sign another D end before the season starts. Linebackers, they've got Kazir White. He was with the Chargers, and I mean, he's not terrible, but I don't think he's necessarily great. He was kind of one of their pickups this offseason that I wasn't quite as stoked about, but he's all right. TJ Edwards, solid player, but honestly, I think towards the end of the season, I think Nakobe Dean is going to overtake him for the starting job and get more reps. But Edwards is still a very, very capable rotational piece. And then one of my favorite pickups, well, okay, let me rephrase this. I say favorite pickups in that it was an awesome pickup for the Eagles, okay? I'm upset as a Panthers fan, okay? But Hassan Reddick, this is the pass rush that the Eagles really, really need here. And, yeah, Reddick is a stud. He had really, really good back-to-back seasons, one with the Cardinals, one with the Panthers. I expect him to get double-digit sacks with the Eagles again. They signed him to a 3-year, I believe, $45 million deal. So happy for Hassan. I'm excited to see what he does in Philly. Awesome pickup. And I mean, we all know what Darius Slay does. I mean, he's a top 5 corner. Then we've got James Bradbury. They picked him up super recently, actually. It was only a 1-year deal. However, if he plays well, I feel like the Eagles would go ahead and extend him. So I'm excited to see that as well. Safeties, they've got Kayvon Wallace and Anthony Harris. Now, I'll be honest, there was a while that I really expected the Eagles to actually sign Tyrann Mathieu. I thought he would have been an insanely good fit with the Eagles and would have taken their defense to even better than it already is. Like, it's already a very, very good defense. Would have made it a lot better. So, yeah, now that you guys know how crazy high I am on the Eagles right now, let's go ahead and jump on over to their record prediction for 2022. All right, so week 1, we have the Eagles at Lions. Now, the Lions, I felt like had a pretty solid offseason. I think they're going to be like last year, be very competitive in about all of their games again. I could see them winning. Honestly, I could see the Lions winning 6-7 games. I really could. I really like Dan Campbell, but I'm just going to keep it 100 right here. Eagles are taking it. Okay. Week 2, we have the Vikings at the Eagles on a Monday night game. Now, I'm just going to say, for starters, Kirk Cousins isn't very good on Monday nights. Okay. Just going to get that out of the way. But I feel like this Eagles team is set up perfectly to stop the Vikings. Because their D tackles are so deep that they'll be able to really slow down Dalvin Cook. And then, I mean, they've got 2 really, really good corners that I feel like can do a decent job at, slowing down Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Plus, I think Hassan Reddick would do a really good job at getting after Kirk Cousins. I think this is going to be a defense-dominant game, but I wouldn't be surprised if if Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, have a really good game here. So I'm taking the Eagles here. Week 3, guys, I'll be honest, I'm not real high on the Commanders right now. I'm not a real believer in Carson Wentz. I don't think he's like a bottom of the league quarterback, down there with like Sam Darnold, Drew Lock, those type of guys. But he's not in the top half of the league either. I'm going to very confidently say the Eagles are going to sweep the Commanders. Their other game is down here week 10. Also on a Monday night. Week 4, not a big believer in the Jaguars. I think the Eagles take that. Now, I did say in my previous predictions that I'm not super high on the Cardinals. And they're going to be a hard one to predict. I feel like they have a very, very tough schedule this year. Because, they do play the entire AFC West, which I think it's very possible that, I'm not saying it'll happen, but I think it's possible that all 4 AFC West teams make the playoffs. I think there will be at least 2, honestly a good chance that 3 of them make the playoffs. So very tough schedule there. But really, I think the Cardinals are about an 8 or 9 win team. I don't really know what to make of them, though. They've got a lot of really good receivers. And I kind of have a sneaky feeling where the Eagles' defensive ends aren't, elite. Brandon Graham and I believe it's Derek Barnett. They're not elite. I feel like that's going to allow Kyler Murray to get outside the pocket and, give his receivers time. And I don't know. I've got a sneaky feeling about this one. I think the Cardinals might win this one. But so far, this makes the Eagles 5-1. Week 6, we have the Eagles and Cowboys. They're playing in Philadelphia. I think the Eagles split the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a very good team this year as well. And the Cowboys really just play the Eagles really, really well. It's one of those divisional matchups that it doesn't matter if one year, the Cowboys are 2-14 and Eagles are 14-2, or vice versa. Like, the matchups are always interesting. Like, I feel like the Cowboys play them really well. But anyways, coming off a bye, they will be playing at home against the Steelers. I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles here. They are definitely the better Pennsylvania team, if I do say so. Then Texans. Texans had a very, very good draft, but they're just not in a spot to compete yet. I already talked about that Washington Commanders game. Then week 11. These next few weeks are where it's going to start to get a little bit tougher. I think the Colts are going to be a good team this year. I really do. I honestly expect them to win the AFC South. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. But I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have one really key run that pulls off the win here. Again, that's not one I'm super confident in. I could very well see the Eagles winning it. But the Colts are a good team. Then we have the Packers at Eagles. And I don't think the Packers are going to be as good as last year. I mean, losing Devontae Adams is absolutely huge. I'm not a super big fan of their defense. I didn't think they had a very great draft, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to make of this team. I do think the Christian Watson pickup, as well as the Sammy Watkins pickups, were pretty good. But I think I'm leaning at Eagles here. I think I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think they're the better team. Week 13, Titans at Eagles. This is a similar situation. I think it'd be pretty close. I think the only reason that it becomes close is because of Derrick Henry. But like I said, the Eagles have so much interior D-line depth and really more solid linebackers now than they had last year. I think I'm going to go Philly. And then I'm going to be honest here. I think they sweep the Giants. I really do. I think they only lose one division game this year, and that's to the Cowboys. So 5-1 in the division. I think they beat the Bears. Bears, I really didn't think had a great offseason. And I feel bad for Justin Fields because he has all the talent in the world. In fact, I think he has superstar potential. But that team's just not giving him any help. Bears are in a tough spot. I think Eagles take it. And then really, this is kind of one that I'm just kind of looking at recent years. The Eagles have played the Saints really, really tough. They have a way of running the ball against the Saints that really no other team in the league can really do. The Saints have had a really, really good run defense. The Eagles have had a really good way of still running on them. I mean, Jalen Hurts is really good at running on them. And really, like, even their running backs do well. I think Nick Sirianni is a much better coach than a lot of people realize. I think he's a lot smarter than a lot of people realize. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Eagles here. Overall, this gives them a 14-3 record. All I've got to say is I'm very excited to see the Eagles this season. I know for the most part it's a pretty dang easy schedule. There's a few tough games in there, but it's a pretty easy schedule. But I very, very strongly expect the Eagles to win that division. I really do. I'm excited to see how they do. So, Eagles fans, let me know what you thought of this record prediction in the comments section below. Again, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Later.